Welcome back to Risque Business News. I'm your host, Laura.
And I'm May.
Today we are returning to the man of the hour, Elon Musk. This is part 7 on Elon Musk. That has been a year and a half, I think, endeavor. Maybe not that much, but it feels like it. That's for sure. Obviously, he has a lot going on right now, so we're going to do a brief review on his shenanigans with Twitter. Let's call them shenanigans from now on.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go back in time and pick up the story where we left off and talk a little bit about SpaceX and Tesla.
Oh, my God.
And yeah, all the nonsense that he's gotten. The shenanigans that got him to the shenanigans of today.
I am so grateful that you are the one who chose to cover him because it's just plaguing your life. I mean, it's just like a never-ending book report that you have to do on this fucking man.
This is my cross to bear.
Yeah.
Every time I see another alert pop up on him, I'm like, oh no.
Like, you have to do all this research and stuff, and then like I show up and I'm like, Real Housewives and why they committed fraud.
At least it's like entertaining.
Yeah, super. I'm loving it.
It's gonna be a good one. So I mean, like, I hope you
Buckle
like
up.
it. Yeah, live it up. All right. So because there's so much going on, I didn't do a ton in terms of like topics ahead of time. I just have one big one. But
Okay.
anything that you wanted to bring up?
No.
What's up in your world?
I mean, by the time this comes out, I will be long betrothed.
No, you won't. This comes out on Tuesday.
Oh, it'll be right before I get
Yeah,
betrothed.
guys. So if you hear this and you haven't wished Meg congratulations
Yeah.
or good luck or whatever the hell you say to brides to be.
Go ahead and Venmo me. I'd like I'm just kidding.
Or she though.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I'm getting married on Thursday. So that's really exciting.
Exciting. We love it. Can't wait.
It's gonna be a
In the
good time.
meantime, I'm sure Elon will also be very busy
Yeah.
throughout that entire
Should
week.
have invited him to
You
the
should have
wedding.
invited him. His assistant probably would have just gotten you a present or something.
I know.
It's like, I don't know. We know. Whatever.
That is like a trick that people used to do, is that they would just like send invitations to like random rich people and their assistants would be like, and then just like give them shit.
Dude, that's a great idea.
I know.
Why did you not?
I don't
that?
know. I should have done that.
It's not too late.
It's not too late.
You're like, hey, it's next Thursday. Hurry.
Yeah.
See you there, right? RSVP now. Really
Bill
short
Gates.
engagement.
It's
Yeah.
Thursday. We know each other.
Bezos. So the one thing that I decided to highlight out of all of the news topics not related to Elon in the world was this little U.S. Air Force flight pattern that emerged on November 4th over in Cyprus near a Russian Air Force base, or like.
So that was like yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
So people looked at, how you can see the trackers of where the planes are going.
Yeah.
And this tracker showed this lovely pattern emerging right outside the Russian base.
And this was just a joke, I guess.
Well, that's what the U.S. was like, oh, that was an accident. There was no intent to make a dick in the sky right next to Russia.
That's not true.
You're trying to fucking tell me that this penis with hair. He's got like hair accentuated on there. Also, the plane's at the tip. It's perfect.
That's so funny.
It's
Listen,
artfully done.
I've seen Top Gun. This is
That was
this is
intentional. That was intentional. And to them, I say, I salute you.
Yeah.
Go USA. That's what I say. This
Yeah.
is inspiring to me as an American.
It's very funny. Why not?
I love it. It's great. Russia, not a huge fan.
No.
I think the penis transcends boundaries.
Yeah.
Even in Russian, they were like, we know what that is.
Yeah.
That's a Russian dick, too.
Right. That's what they look like.
Yeah.
They look like that over here, too.
I think that the United States is sending a penis our way.
That's so funny.
So funny.
Okay, this is like really quite a broad question.
Sure, let's go.
But like,
Solve it.
I don't even know if I want to say it. I sound so fucking stupid. But like, what is the deal with Ukraine and Russia right now?
Guys.
Because it was like the hottest fucking time. It's like any fucking,
Of course.
social justice thing where like everyone's talking about it. And
There
now,
are bombs going off,
and
but
now-
yeah, social justice.
yeah, and now I'm like, what's going on
Yeah.
Like, does anybody care about
Is
that anymore?
anybody-
Are restaurants still putting out their Ukrainian flags?
Yeah. Is anybody tracking? I'm pretty sure it's still like a full ass war.
Yeah.
Like full-blown war. But to your
Wow.
point, I haven't seen as much coverage of it. Sure, that's the fucking media trying to silence someone. I don't know
Yeah.
who even anymore.
Or they found out some like unsavory things about Ukraine and we're like, we're just gonna abandon this.
Yeah,
you
except
know?
for also like you still don't get to just bomb people even if
No,
they, you know what I mean? I'm like, at the end of the day, real ass bombs are exploding.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like I don't care what they did. Or
Right.
Figure it out. Stop. Everyone chill.
Do you think that we're all gonna die in a nuclear attack?
Yes.
Okay.
Or maybe not. I don't know. That's why you should like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe
Because,
while
like,
we can.
We're not going to be here one day and you're going to miss this opportunity.
To like and subscribe to
To
Risque
like and
Business
subscribe
News
and tell 3
on
friends.
all platforms.
On all platforms. Leave a review, 5 stars, or else shut the fuck up.
You can leave a mean comment. Like, just go ahead. Like, if you want to leave us a review for 5 stars and then say, this is the worst podcast I've ever listened to in my life, and
Call us
May is
whores.
ugly, and she's stupid.
She doesn't know what's going on with the Ukraine.
She
What
does
an
not.
idiot.
If you want to do that, but the review is 5 stars, go for it.
That's fine. That's fine. We'll allow it. Glad that we were able to turn the global conflicts of the world into why you should be avid listeners to this podcast. So, yeah, very, very
That's
altruistic
fun. I
of
love
us.
just like super funny little.
Oh, I live for
things
that.
like
This
that.
is the kind of shit
The
that like
penis
makes
thing.
life worth living a little bit.
Yeah,
Kind of.
kind of.
This Air Force guy. I want to know who did it, too.
Yeah, yeah.
Come on
And
the
are
pod.
they hot? And do they throw fucking the pigskin around shirtless for a montage like they do in the movies?
That's all we want to know.
Is that something that's going on? That's going
Someone
on.
know any facts? I looked it up. No one had any info. Let me tell you that.
That's what I'm picturing. A beach in Ukraine. I don't even know if that exists. And a bunch of
I don't know either. I'm like,
mil-
is there ocean? Like, I don't know.
Does it?
I'm a fucking
Is
idiot.
it bordering the ocean? I have no idea.
Couldn't tell you.
I don't think so. I don't know actually. Whatever. Anyway.
I'm like, Ukraine coast? Ukraine beach vacation?
Oh my god, that's so bad.
Oh yeah, it does.
Okay, well look
Look
at
at that. We're learning.
Yeah. So
Listen,
anyway, so when I'm picturing people on the beach, shirtless, throwing the pigskin.
Yep.
And then they're like, well, you know, it'd be really funny
if we get in that
if we get in that fucking plane and do a
super
little
drunk and fly around and then be like, oh my god, we accidentally made a penis in the air. It's hilarious.
perfect.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise just comes out.
It was Tom Cruise.
It was yeah.
Verified.
Yeah.
Verified.
Yeah.
You heard it here. This is news. You can cite us. So, yep, that was just the one thing that I thought we should discuss beyond the the man of the hour.
Okay.
There was two people, Tom Cruise and Elon Musk. That's all I want to hear about.
Okay, one more thing before we get into Elon Musk. What is the deal?
Oh no.
This is like a new segment of mine where I
Okay,
just do a
what-
Jerry Seinfeld
Yeah.
impression. What's the deal? But what is the deal with Tom Cruise looking like he's 25? What's the fucking deal, dude? That makes me believe in
Yeah.
people eating babies and shit.
Honestly, good for him. I'm like, even like I was like, I'm not angry. I just kind of want you to tell me that's what we're supposed to do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're supposed to eat babies. Like, at least I know the answer.
I know. If I have to bathe in fucking little kids' blood or whatever,
Fetuses or
then
whatever,
like, you
it's
know what? Tell
fine.
me.
Yeah. At least I'm not going to do it necessarily. I just want to know that that's like what you're supposed
Right.
to do.
Maybe I would have done it like before the wedding. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
just to
I
get,
know,
like,
at
a
this
nice
point
little
it's, like,
glow.
Too late at
Yeah,
this point.
exactly. Maybe I can find some children to fucking kill and bathe in New Orleans.
Probably.
Yeah. There's some voodoo ritual I could go.
I'm sure you definitely could. Maybe that's what Tom Cruise has done as well. You should send him a wedding invite so he
Yeah.
can send you some of his skin scare.
What is it called again? Adrenochrome.
What is that?
That.
What is
So
what is that?
adrenochrome is some.
What is the deal with adrenochrome?
That's like where like the conspiracy theorists think that like rich people are injecting themselves with adrenochrome, and adrenochrome, I guess, is allegedly like when you get really scared. Your
like
bod-
adrenaline?
Yeah, like adrenaline, but there's like some sort of like
Piece
chemical
of
in your
it.
body, and they take that out, and then they fucking shoot it in their legs or whatever, and then
They heard of just like cocaine or whatever, like like we have that, but like real just normal ass drugs. Is So,
Yeah.
well,
Because that is okay. I'm like really on one today.
no, I like it. It's
But I
great.
also think it's like really weird how there's a certain like, so for example, when you're killing a deer, when you're killing, yeah,
all those times we've been killing deers.
I've
right?
never shot a gun in my life, but I know that when people kill a deer, you're supposed to hit them in a specific part of their head so that they die instantly. And the reason for that is not necessarily for like to like spare them from the pain. It's because if they die like a different way, then they're all scared and all this adrenaline and all this stuff goes into their body, into their meat, and then the meat tastes bad. Isn't that
I think
crazy?
that's with other animals too.
Yeah. Like those little cows, and they just like shoot them in the head.
Sad.
Anyway, that chili with all that meat in it out there that we had earlier was delicious.
We just had some chili. It was with grass-fed beef, which I hate that they have to specify that. I'm like,
what
versus what?
Poop eating beef?
What are we talking about? Grass-fed beef.
Yeah, don't like
when they're like humanely raised chickens, and I'm like, what's the alternative, team?
Have you fucking seen those dogs?
I know. Yeah. Maybe we should just say, hey, that's mean. Stop it. Cut it out.
It would be a really depressing episode.
No. Animal cruelty.
Well, yeah.
We do an hour on animal cruelty. Everyone's like, we don't like the pod. It's kind of a bummer.
Gross. But like the farming industry and how fucked that shit is. But it would be interesting. It would just be... I'm not gonna be vegan. Sorry.
I'm not gonna be vegan either. But
I'm like actively trying not to learn about things.
I know. I'm like, please don't tell me because I'd like to eat my corn syrup.
Yeah.
All that things. Yeah, we'll add that to the list. You let us know if you want to hear about the farm industry. But that would be kind of.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay, cool. Anything else depressing and crazy that you want to talk about before we get into it?
I don't know. No. I think I'm good with the depressing talk. We'll
don't you worry.
Ones.
There'll be more.
Okay.
Don't you worry. There's plenty to talk about. So, as I mentioned, like obviously we've done a lot of different parts about Elon. We've talked about things like his family, his breeding fetish that his dad shares with him.
Breeding fetish. Oh my God.
Yes, it's a real thing.
They all have that.
They all have it. He has 1 million kids.
They all meaning extremely rich people.
Yeah. Honestly, the weirdest thing about it is the more I read about it, the more I'm like, I mean, I get the logic behind it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right. But also gross.
Yeah.
But also still kind of weird. Yikes.
Yeah.
Like cut it out.
Very weird.
Cut it out.
Like,
but I like
even
get...
like Alec Baldwin and Ilaria Baldwin.
Ilaria.
I'm like, what the fuck? Just stop having kids. You guys, you have 1 million fucking kids. Just stop having them.
Yeah, we're done.
Okay.
Cut them off. Solving the world's issues over here. So we talked about that. We've talked about his early days, like starting off at Zip2 and then PayPal and all the money that he had made out the gate, which allowed him to be whatever he is now. Some of his relationships, we still have to do Grimes, but we talked about Justine Musk and Tallulah Riley, his on again, off again wife. Okay.
Yeah.
And then SpaceX and Tesla, how when they initially got founded, they almost went bankrupt like 1 billion times and probably will continue to do that for the rest of time.
Great.
Like in and out.
Yeah.
So obviously, right now, all anyone really wants to hear about in relation to Elon is Twitter.
Yes.
He's Chief Twit now.
Is that what he's calling himself?
Yeah.
Chief Twit? That sounds
Chief
horrible.
Twit. And then,
that
he
Chief Twat.
I know. He's not exactly good with like anything.
Puns and stuff.
Puns
he is very funny on Twitter.
Yeah, but not like why he wants to be all the time.
Yeah. But man, do I really enjoy it.
Now he calls himself Twitter Complaint Hotline Operator. It's funny. And his location is hell. You brought yourself there, buddy. I don't know what to tell you, but you're not wrong.
Yeah.
You are not wrong.
God, that's funny.
So when we were talking about the Twitter story, where we kind of left off was where they were going to trial, and that was going to happen in October. Then I needed to take a mental wellness break for a while, so we took a couple months off. So back in August, that's kind of like the last time I discussed Twitter and Elon. On August 23rd, the Washington Post posted a very tumultuous complaint from one of the hackers and former Twitter security chief, Peter Zeitko. And this guy basically was saying that Elon was correct and that the people at Twitter were lying about how many bots there were.
Oh, yeah.
And that there were terrible security practices that could violate a FTC settlement agreement. Cool.
Okay.
So this was like a very big deal because at that point he still worked, or I think he had like just left or something like that. The people at Twitter were like, that's not right. this is inaccurate
Yeah.
and that he was fired for ineffective leadership and poor performance. It is kind of funny because he was the security chief. So if there were poor security practices, like that's your department, my guy.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Why are you going to like tell on yourself, man? But anyway, so that was like one of the things that they were trying to give Elon more of a case.
Yeah.
So that happened in August. And then in September, another big explosive document came out where, as part of the discovery process for the trial, 151 pages of texts and emails were picked up from Elon and to other like tech leaders out there, revealing conversations that they had.
What did they say? Oh my God.
Well,
and
like a lot. There's
Okay.
a lot of different things. And also, once again, don't love that people can just kind of come in and take your texts and emails.
oh yeah.
I get that it was part of like a, real grown-up lawsuit thing, like real life kind of deal, but like, ooh.
I know, it is kind of scary.
Yeah, careful. Don't talk too much shit. That's why you got to do voice memos, I guess.
I know. Yeah, it's actually kind of funny. Like sometimes when I'm talking shit about like, whatever with people, and then I'll notice that somebody was only doing voicemails. I'm like, oh, you sneaky bitch. You don't want me to. I'm like, you don't trust me not to screenshot?
Yeah.
But like,
She doesn't trust the SEC not to come and take her.
I guess not.
or her there. So a lot of what's wild about this is that these conversations are between like the most influential people like out there.
Right.
Like it's like a who's who list. So obviously some of the conversations were with Parag Agrawal, who is the now former CEO.
Right.
I
never liked that guy. I didn't like the cut of his jib.
He's also 38, which made
What?
me I'm like offended by that. Is that
Greg's meowing outside the door, but it's okay.
rude? He doesn't like Parag either. He's like,
Yeah.
hey, you talking about Parag in there?
Yeah, Greg is in QAnon. If people, that's my cat. It's just a joke, by the way. And
Oh, he's not actually in QAnon?
but Greg, I mean, he's probably fucking smarter than a lot of people that are in QAnon.
Definitely
But
is.
he's just out there. He's like, that guy's a liberal cock. That's what he was saying. Meow, meow.
Parag.
Parag sucks. Meow.
Anyway, Parag Agrawal is the former CEO of Twitter. He was in place for about a year, and he was put in place by Jack Dorsey. So don't know what to fucking tell you. That guy is the boss. And he texted or emailed, it's not totally clear, but either way, communicated with Elon saying, at this point in April, Elon had been tweeting a whole bunch of nonsense about Twitter just because he's Elon. Right. And he goes, you are free to tweet, is Twitter dying, or anything else about Twitter, but it's my responsibility to tell you that it's not helping me make Twitter better in its current context. Next time we speak, I'd like to provide you a perspective on the level of internal distraction right now and how it's hurting our ability to do work. I hope the AMA, which he did on Reddit, was like a Ask Me Anything, will help people get to know you, to understand why you believe in Twitter, and to trust you. And I'd like the company to get to a place where we're more resilient and don't get distracted, but we aren't there right now.
Okay, well, you just sound so... everything is so political with this guy. Like
he is a CEO.
I know.
He's got to be like normal.
But I'm sure Elon wrote back and was like, pay me $8 or whatever.
Yeah, well, no, here. So Elon replies to him, what did you get done this week?
See, like that is fucking it's still professional technically. It's just fucking funny and savage.
It's pretty savage. It's pretty savage. That he sent another message saying, I'm not joining the board. This is a waste of time. That was back when they were considering putting him on the board. And then he said, we'll make an offer to take Twitter private.
Okay.
So he had fun, spicy conversations like that with people like Parag, who were trying to be like, hey, can you be like normal for like a goddamn second?
And he's like, no.
Because the crazy part about this is when he was doing all of that negative talk about Twitter, when he was trying to get out of the deal and stuff like that, is like, you're about to buy this company and you're seriously impacting like its advertising strategy and all the financials, like the stock price and things like that.
Yeah.
Another person that he was texting with was Joe Rogan.
Love it.
Love it. Of course, Joe had to get in there. He emails or texts Elon saying, are you going to liberate Twitter from the censorship happy mob? End message. Yeah. That's it. Send it over.
And then what did he say?
And then Elon responded, I will provide advice which they may or may not choose to follow. That was actually a fairly reasonable conversation that they had.
Greg just meowed again. He's like, Joe Rogan. I love
Joe
him.
Rogan. We love Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I actually do love Joe Rogan.
He's got his moments. This one was fine. Listen, what are you going to do?
Yeah, what are you going to do?
You know?
Okay.
Then there's a bunch of other people, just to kind of give you an idea. Like there were a lot of texts, a lot of them kind of like, those two conversations that we just saw right there, a lot of them very similar to that.
Right.
And a lot of people coming in to kind of like provide support or advice as they considered it.
Right.
William Maxgill was an altruist who was getting in touch of a Democratic donor and crypto billionaire, Sam Bankman-Fried. Matthias Dopfner was the CEO of Axel Springer. Mark Andreessen, who's a venture capitalist, who that guy's a big deal.
Okay.
Larry Ellison, who's the founder of Oracle, he was texting with him. And actually this one was important because it was round funding. And this was an interesting way to like see how these deals actually get done, where I guess Larry's assistant sends a message to Elon and says, Larry Ellison is interested in being part of the Twitter take private. And then Elon sends a message to Larry and says, roughly what dollar size, not holding you to anything, but the deal is oversubscribed, so I have to reduce or kick out some participants. And Larry replies, $1 billion or whatever you recommend. And then he just likes the message. And goes, Elon replies, whatever works for you, I'd recommend maybe $2 billion or more. This is very high potential and I'd rather have you than anyone else. And Larry replies, I agree that it has huge potential and it would be a lot of fun. And Elon replies, absolutely, smiley face.
Yeah.
So what I really liked about this is that they're talking about like egregious sums of money.
Right.
And it's like cutesy little emoji filled
Yeah.
messages. They're like, would you want to put in like a little billion from, would it be like cute and fun and adorable if we just like hung out and like ran Twitter? And they're like, yeah.
That'd be great.
Oh my God, so cute. Another guy, Jason Calacanis. So I looked a little bit into this guy. He basically is a podcaster as well. He has some company backgrounds, but he didn't seem to have like that deep of a following. Or I mean, he has a following, but it's not like he doesn't have like massive credentials, at least that I could tell. I'm sure he's been around for a while and he gets it. But either way, he's considered like in Elon's pretty close circle, which I was kind of like, fucking why?
Yeah.
This guy? I don't know.
Interesting.
Very well. Don't get me wrong. I didn't spend a ton of time on him, so maybe I'll like look more into him for the next time and say, oh, I was wrong. He was really influential in this thing. But he and Elon had a little spat, little lovers quarrel.
Oh no.
Because Jason was like very, very supportive of Elon and like vocally online and like just being like, this guy's the fucking best. Like all of his things are smart. He's got his deal. So Elon messages Jason and goes, what's going on with you marketing an SPV to randos? This is not okay. And then Jason replies, not randos. I have the largest angel syndicate and that's how I invest. We've done 250 plus deals like this and now we know all the folks. I thought this was how folks were doing it.
Huh.
100, and then he keeps saying like more details, blah, blah, blah. 100 million on commitments, 200 accredited investors said they would do it. It's not an open process. Obviously, our folks already in our syndicate. This is a massive demand to support your efforts, by the way. People really want to see you win. So what I think is going on there is that basically he was getting his followers to kind of commit to also investing to an extent. And Elon was like, get the fuck out of here. So Elon replies, Morgan Stanley and Jared think you are using our friendship, not in a good way.
Oh.
This makes it seem like I'm desperate. Please stop.
Oh.
And Jason replies, only ever want to support you.
Oh my God.
Clearly you're not desperate. You have the world's greatest investors voting in support of a deal you already have covered. You're overfunded. We will quietly cancel it. And to be clear, I'm not out of actively soliciting folks. These are extending LPs, not randos. Sorry for any trouble. And then Elon replies, Morgan Stanley and Jared are very upset. And Jason replies, ugh. And then some more details about this. And then Elon just keeps going on like, hey, cut it the fuck out.
Yeah.
So this was funny to me.
Yeah.
As well. Because basically this guy was trying to just like get more support for him. And Elon was like, dude, please stop.
Yeah.
And mostly also I think it's just the fact that like everyone really, really like bows down to Elon. It kind of reminded me of the Theranos texts. Remember those? Between Sunny and Elizabeth Holmes.
Yeah.
When she was like, you are my everything. And he goes, okay.
That was amazing. That is not discussed enough. That is so
really not
embarrassing.
brought up nearly enough. And it was extremely savage. Then Joe Lunsdale, co-founder of Palantir, was also in the texts. Palantir, we definitely need to talk about at some point because they are mystery and very, very exciting to me. And then Jack Dorsey, of course. And he, back in March of 22, said, yes, to Elon, yes, a new platform is needed. It can't be a company. This is why I left. And then Elon replies, okay, what should it look like? And then he talks about how it needs to have an open source protocol similar to what Signal has done and blah, blah, blah. And then Elon replies to him, super interesting idea. So basically what this showed is all of this was being used in the court documents to prove that Elon had like done his due diligence. He knew a lot from a lot of different people.
Oh, I see.
Like it wasn't like a fucking mystery what he was getting himself into.
Because wasn't that what he was trying to, he was going to be like, oh, it's in way worse shape than I thought when I was.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Yep. So anyway, and there were a lot of different articles. Like there's obviously a ton of different texts and each one of them has their own interesting insights to take out of it. It's a little bit more in the weeds than I think this podcast
it's
is.
Like it's redundant.
Yeah,
I would say
exactly.
too.
But that can kind of give you a general sense of what it was all about. So how was he financing this deal? As we mentioned, he was not taking money from randoms on the internet. He had big people like Larry Ellison and Morgan Stanley backing it. There were about $13 billion in debt from Morgan Stanley, and then he was going to take the rest of the deal from, a lot of the money was coming from his shares in Tesla.
Yeah.
So he sold a shit ton of them. This was important because Tesla, as a result, a lot of their shares, their share price went down like 35%.
Oh, wow.
And then in the midst of this was the summer where the recession hit or didn't hit, whatever you want to call it.
God.
I know.
So fucking stupid.
I know. So as a result, Elon all of a sudden was like kind of like he'd lost a lot of money. Not lost, like he technically had Twitter as a result, but he was like standing to lose a lot of money from this.
Yeah.
But either way, the lawsuit was not looking good for him. So in October, he agreed to buy Twitter on October 3rd.
Yeah.
And we know this. This is very, very public, obviously. He intended to proceed to the closing of the transaction contemplated by the April 25th merger agreement. So he sent it over to their lawyers, and the whole thing was that he would do this as long as they immediately dropped the lawsuit.
Yeah.
So they were like, okay, sure, whatever, man.
Yeah.
And on October 27th, the deal closed, and Elon took over.
Okay.
And he took over in a very dramatic fashion. Right after, have you not seen this? So right
oh,
after,
yes,
right,
that was so fucking dorky.
Right after Elon took over at Twitter, he went to Home Depot, or his assistant went to Home Depot, bought him a or a bathroom sink.
Yep.
And he walks into Twitter HQ with the sink and tweets, "Entering Twitter HQ, let that sink in."
What a fucking weird, like,
what
the commitment to that pun. He was like, yeah.
Oh, this is him.
Look at this man.
Look at him fucking grinning.
He's so excited. That's what I love his like boyishness about him. He's just like, this is.
Look at that face.
This
Look
is
at, he's
so funny.
He's
and
cheesing.
stupid.
Also, cool necklace, man.
Ah!
Sorry, that was mean, Laura. But look at him with
That
his.
is so funny.
Also, that thing can't be light. So like that's kind of a
No.
pain in the ass.
Yeah, right.
Walking around with like a 30-pound
Yeah.
sink. At a certain point, he's like, okay, like, did we get
Yeah,
did we get the clip? Did we get it?
Yeah.
Did we get it? Okay, I'm gonna put this down. Okay, I'm gonna put it.
I love that he's like, that is like, but like to let that sink in, and he's so fucking proud of it. I'm like, you shouldn't be that proud of it.
Like you're really embarrassing.
He's
He's
so
like,
nerdy.
this is peak dad energy.
It really
right
is.
there.
But I just love how like sincere he is about it. It's so fucking funny. It's
so funny.
very cute.
Whew. He's something. 1.4 million likes on that bad boy. People really enjoyed it.
Okay.
It was very popular. So he gets in. He has a sink. He's ready to make a splash.
Okay.
He's ready to wash his hands of this deal.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And he immediately fired a shit ton of people. So as we know, he goes on to fire even more people, but just out the gate, he fires Parag.
Right.
He's like, Parag, I hate you. I think I've made that clear.
Yeah.
Parag, fucking hate you. You gotta go.
I think everyone hated Parag though.
Parag was like, he was fine. Dude, he was just a normal CEO who got mixed up into like some shenanigans. I don't think he like did really anything specific one way or another.
No.
Besides just kind of try to run the company like in a pretty like, I don't know, run of the mill way.
Right.
I at least when I was looking at this stuff, I was like, he didn't really do anything.
No.
But he wasn't a personality. He wasn't like a
No.
massive player in the whole deal. And
He was boring.
he was boring. That was his biggest crime, was just being like, stop being like kind of boring and rational and like, you know, trying to have rules.
Right.
I get that you need some, but like, ugh, you're being a buzzkill. He was fired, so don't worry about that. The CFO was fired. This is the whole list of people initially fired. The CFO, the general counsel, the legal chief, the chief customer officer, the chief people and diversity officer, the chief marketing officer, GM of product, GM of core technologies, chief accounting officer, VP of global client solutions, and head of international communications.
Great.
So anyone with any sort of power was like, you got to go.
Wow.
All of them.
So then who's doing all those jobs in the meantime?
Correct.
Elon.
Great point. Kind of, probably. So all of them are now gone. That happened like day one or like within the first day or two. So Parag specifically got a lot of headlines, obviously being the former CEO, because he's, first of all, 38, which I didn't know, and
That's
offended
insane.
by.
Yeah, I'm very offended by. He looks like shit.
He does, but granted, he's been through a lot. There's no amount of baby blood or whatever that can help with that kind of nonsense. So he was in charge for less than a year because that was when Jack had left. And his severance package is due to be $38.7 million.
Good for him.
Yep. However, this has become contested because it was revealed that him, the CFO, and the policy head were fired for cause.
Oh.
Remember, Elon fucking hates this guy.
Yeah.
So because he was fired for cause, that would technically negate the severance package. However, there's fucking no way that like, actually occurs.
No, that's insane.
There's no way because they will almost 100% go to court. And I really doubt that Elon wants to actually like see that fully through.
Well, also, even if you're fired, don't you still get severance?
Yeah, but depends on why you're fired. If you're laid off or fired, if for cause means like you were negligent on the job.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Or you did something specifically against the company.
Yeah, but
now,
well,
you're like, I think it's kind of the discretion of the employer, and then you can go to like law, like the court of law or whatever, and dispute it. The thing is, they're all in California, and California has some really good labor laws. So more than likely, and Elon also has pissed off a lot of people. So more than likely, he's going to get that money, is what I think. But we'll find out. I also think there's so many storylines going on right now that everyone's like, dude, whatever.
Yeah.
Figure it out. We don't know. However, quite the paycheck. Good for him.
Yeah.
1 year work.
1 year work. That is
And he doesn't
quite the per hour.
And he doesn't have to deal with this shit anymore.
I know. He must be so relieved.
So relieved.
So relieved.
Wow. Because like it's funny to laugh at, but a circus.
Yeah.
That is a full circus. So, Elon is now in charge. Literally the only thing going on Twitter right now is commentary on the fact that he's in charge and like related conversations around that. And then also conversations on Kanye West.
Oh, yeah.
It's a really exhausting place right now.
Yeah.
You mentioned like who's actually doing these jobs. So part of what he did was he actually pulled over 50 Tesla employees.
What?
His engineers over at Tesla, he took them to Twitter to have them review all the code and like go through everything and like learn as much as possible about like how things are running.
Interesting. But like, I don't know. I mean, I would assume that those types of engineers don't really translate necessarily, but I don't really know enough about engineering, I guess.
I don't know.
I don't know. I did hear, and this was like in a tweet, ironically.
No, so many pieces of information are coming from tweets. Which
I know. So I got
pretty hilarious.
This tweet that he fired like a certain percentage of the engineering staff from Twitter, and he like based on how many lines of code that they had done throughout the past year or something like that. Yeah,
I think his whole thing is that just like it was overstaffed, that there were way too many people and they were not productive at all. Yeah. Like one of the things, you're right, there are a lot of different like theories. I'm not even sure what's true or not, but the ethos of it was like he considered most of Twitter staff lazy and unproductive and not doing a good job. So he fired them. He fired 50% of the staff, or 3,700 people from the company on Friday. He also did a bunch of things like got rid of their days of rest they had in the calendar, which is like pretty standard. You know, tech has all sorts of bullshit perks like that. Yeah. And then he also insisted that they have 12-hour work days going forward until they figure things out. Yeah.
On
which
Earth?
Also, hello?
No, that can't be real. That can't be like legal.
There was... what are we even doing here? Nothing is fucking like, is any of this kind of legal? We don't even really know.
Right.
One of the staff members tweeted a sleeping bag.
Oh
It
my
was
God.
like, I'm sleeping here now.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a joke or not, but either way.
That sucks. 12-hour days? No. I would quit on the spot.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Well, I'm sure so they fired 50% of the people
And I'm
yesterday.
sure the remaining 50% are like,
I'm sure they're applying to other positions.
yeah,
There's no shot.
no way.
So I do feel very bad for those people. And of course, they immediately sued him.
Yeah.
Remember how his favorite thing is to go to court?
Yeah.
Here we go. He
He's back
continues
in
to
court.
do so. He's back in court, or he might be. So he got hit with a lawsuit over short notice layoffs. Once again, California labor laws, there's a thing called the WARN Act, which requires that you give at least 60 days notice before layoffs occur so people can like prepare.
Yeah.
Again, this is like when people are getting laid off because of the company progress, not for a cause.
Right.
So because this was a ton of people, they definitely applied to the WARN Act. So basically they need to be given 2 months severance or he gets in a shit ton of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So he is now saying that he is in fact going to be giving them 3 months severance, which is 50% more than legally required. This was actually from 15 hours ago.
Okay.
So this is all being addressed like live right now. So don't feel bad for these people at Twitter. This has just been the most chaos.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, they're about to get 3 months severance. They'll be fine.
They'll figure it out.
They're going to have a happy holiday. They're not going to have to do this shit.
Yeah.
Whew.
I would be relieved.
So relieved. So relieved. So, okay. So that's what's going on with the employees and what's left of them. What is actually happening on the site itself? As I mentioned, it's a bit of chaos.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, one data point that I could find to like really drive that home was there was a 500% increase within the last 12 hours of the Twitter deal closing in the use of the N-word on the app. 500%. Yeah, from Elon. No. No, I think that was just so basically the content on the app kind of like went fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And it's not unreasonable to think that because he did fire most of the content moderation team.
I am wondering, however, like, you know, obviously like we are in comedy, so like black comics use that word like crazy.
Sure.
And like I hate even like being in the same room as it. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm
like,
always like, please stop.
It makes me so fucking
or do whatever you want.
uncomfortable. I can't stand it. But like, I do wonder if like maybe they were just like a bunch of like, you know,
yeah, I don't
like black people on Twitter that were like, oh, now we can say it. I don't know. And like, we don't have to do like the asterisk thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Because like, I don't know. Like, what kind of person says that? Like,
word earnestly on the internet, like unless they're like using it in their own, you know, language patterns.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This was a study from the Network Contagion Research Institute that released that, and I would imagine that they like have information. But I don't know. Probably not.
I think so. I'm probably right, and I think that they're saying that to make Elon look like he's like supporting neo-Nazis and stuff. Not supporting, but like allowing.
Yeah.
I would guess my hypothesis is majority. I don't doubt that some of those some of those slur uses are probably from malicious people. I don't doubt that. But I would say like probably the majority of it is people that
you're right. So in this post it says several posts on 4chan, we know 4chan, encourage users to amplify derogatory slurs. Either way. So to your point, there might be like an initiative to amplify hate speech on the platform, but unfortunately they are in fact doing so.
Yeah.
And listen, I don't fucking care. Like I do care, you know, don't have hate speech. Obviously it's bad. Right. But beyond that, sure, it's a 12-hour period. Who knows? Unfortunately, it's not great optics.
No, it's not.
It's not great optics. Not great optics. Not bad. It's not good that when I search things, this is one of the first things that popped up on what's going on with Twitter right now. And the reason that is so important is also there's also talking about reversing bans on people like the DJT, you know?
Oh,
so
really? Okay.
He's being seriously considered to be reinstated along with a bunch of other people.
Interesting.
The whole thing is like debating like what is free speech, like who should be on here, blah, blah, blah. Elon even tweeted that I hate that everything is coming out via tweets.
I know.
It makes the whole thing feel like a snake eating its tail. But either way,
yeah.
He tweeted that nothing is going to happen in terms of reversing bans for several weeks because they need to like take a really hard look at the policies and what makes sense there. So TBD, but either way, all of these conversations are happening right now. And the advertisers are not happy. So a lot of advertisers have paused their spend.
That makes sense.
Makes a ton of sense. If I was an advertiser, I'd be like, listen, there's a lot of the N-word
Yeah.
for whatever reason, but
That's
it's there.
bad.
I don't know
That's
really what to
good.
tell you. It's all over the place.
Yeah.
And Elon's fighting politicians like a lot.
Yeah.
And he's in charge, and there's a sync in Twitter headquarters. Maybe we're just going to go to TikTok for like a second.
Yeah.
The holidays are coming up. Let's go to TikTok. Let's do some
Right.
hauls.
Yeah.
Let's do some hauls on TikTok and
With
move it
child
along.
labor fucking clothes and
Absolutely. They're like, it's, this is us. We're trying to just make some, we're Sheen.
we're
not
Sheen.
We're going to move it along.
Man. Yeah. Yeah. That's a tumultuous place to put your ad right now. I remember.
I kind of get it. I'm like,
Yeah. I think we had said on the pod like a very long time ago, but we were talking about how like there's like YouTube, like whenever people are on advertising on YouTube, they have to like moderate exactly where it is, because they could be for like some like horrifying like a fucking ISIS beheading, and then next thing you know, it's like station nationwide is on your side.
Everyone's like, yeah, no, exactly. And I think that was kind of, so some of the companies that brought their stuff off of Twitter were General Motors, Volkswagen, Audi, and Pfizer, which is kind of funny, that group specifically, because the first three, I'm sure, are a little annoyed about the Tesla stuff, perhaps.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
And then the fourth one, Pfizer, Elon hasn't exactly been like COVID's number one ally in terms of compliance with everything. He is vaccinated, but I can see them being like, dude, this fucking guy again.
Yeah, yeah.
This guy, get out of here, man. Anyway, they pulled out a bunch of their ads. Other advertisers did as well, and Elon's pissed. He tweeted yesterday, Twitter has had a massive drop in revenue due to activist groups pressuring advertisers, even though nothing has changed with content moderation, and we did everything we could to appease these activists. Extremely messed up. They're trying to destroy free speech in America. Okay. No. I mean, I think they're just trying to run a company. Listen, I kind of get a lot of what Elon has said, but this one I'm like, are you an idiot?
Well, also, it's like there was a big drop in users, right?
There was drops in users.
So it's like, if I was an advertiser, I'd be like, okay, I'd rather just put my money elsewhere then.
Also, he proved that there was like not real numbers behind it, because he went in a whole ass lawsuit where he was trying to say like, hey, this is fucking bullshit. Exactly. And the advertiser's like, oh man, you're right.
Right. I would be like, okay, well, I'm not going to advertise to a bunch of bots.
Yeah. The other thing that got immediately brought up, and I didn't mention this, maybe I should have mentioned this earlier, is unfortunately Elon has not only been tweeting about Twitter and his takeover.
Oh no.
I know.
What else is he talking about?
I know. So, like a fucking idiot in the midst of this entire thing, it's not great. He tweeted a conspiracy theory. He retweeted from a website less credible than the National Enquirer. This is a reply to him like 4 days ago. And what he is referring to is this tweet where Elon on the 30th of October, so last Sunday, replied to Hillary Clinton. I know. Oh, it gets worse. So we all know how Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul Pelosi, got attacked with a hammer.
Oh, yeah.
That happened. That's fucking insane. That's a completely different storyline.
Yeah.
This is not a politics or crime podcast.
Yeah.
However, there were some people on the extreme right who came up with a hypothesis that this was, in fact, a conspiracy theory and that he had been fighting with a gay prostitute.
I have heard this, yeah.
Yes, and that is why he got attacked in his home with a hammer. Sure.
Okay.
Listen. Okay. So Elon, in his infinite wisdom, in the midst of taking over this platform, was like, you know what I got to do? Chime in.
Yeah.
Buddy, maybe sit this one out. Maybe this is not the conversation for you to get into.
He just
but
enjoys it.
Not only did he decide to chime in, he also decided to chime into Hillary Clinton, where he retweeted this article called, he said in his comment, there's a tiny possibility there might be more to this story than meets the eye.
That is true.
That's fine. But then the source that he sends over to in the article is titled "The Awful Truth: Paul Pelosi was drunk again and in a dispute with a gay prostitute."
Yeah.
The website that he is referencing is the Santa Monica Observer, which is described by fact checkers as low credibility source favoring the extreme right.
Great.
Perfect. And on top of all of that, it's an opinion piece from the Santa Monica Observer. Right. It has literally no facts.
It's just a funny, like, It's just an idea.
It's just a
an
conspiracy
idea.
theory.
Yeah.
It's just a conspiracy theory. Like, it's fan fiction from
I mean,
the right, which is like, dude.
And if he just kept the tweet, like, there could be more to this story, like, that's just true. Because it's like, okay, obviously, once you hear that, then, like, your brain goes to, like, how did someone get into the security so easily? Like, what's the deal? Like, what were they after? Like, you know, obviously your brain goes places. And it's like, yeah, there is a little bit more to the story. I don't think that Secret Service agents would just, like, allow it to be a penetrable place.
I'm sure there
is more to the story, but it's probably not that he was, I don't know. I mean, whatever. Just don't retweet it with the fucking opinion piece from that place.
From like the National Enquirer's shitty cousin.
Right.
Inbred cousin from Santa Monica.
Right. I do think, like, you know, people that are like, oh, that's crazy. And then they just move on with their lives. I'm like, do you have no curiosity at all? Do
you want to like double click on that?
Yeah.
Totally.
Do you don't have any sort of like next question coming up in your brain? Like, you know, I'm not saying that it's not weird. I think that is really funny.
The fact that it has to be a gay male prostitute.
Yeah.
That aside, it really doesn't even matter. That's the funniest part about this is I'm like, none of that is actually important in this situation.
No.
Because Elon, you are trying to convince advertisers that you have content moderation policies in place. You are in charge and you are tweeting this.
That is very
What the
funny.
fuck are they supposed to do with that information, man?
Also, did fucking Nancy's, like, did he die? Like, what's going on?
He's alive.
Okay.
He made it. So we'll probably at some point get more information.
Yeah.
I'm sure Elon will be chimed. Don't worry. You just follow him and you can get the facts.
If he makes a full recovery, Elon's going to be like, interesting.
And General Motors will be like, what do you want us to do with this? How are we supposed to run ads on your platform when you're out of your damn mind?
Imagine getting hit in the head with a hammer. Oh my God. That's like fucking
That's
gnarly.
Crazy.
That's
like use a gun like a normal person.
Yeah, right. I know. That is like seriously
It's
something
wild.
else. Like, that's really fucking insane. Okay.
Yeah, really insane. We are talking about Twitter forever, so like classic, it doesn't matter. Here we are. Sue me. So obviously that is what's going on right now, and one of the things that a lot of people have probably heard about. This, I think, has been the predominant story.
Oh, yeah. I love this story.
This one is delight.
It's just very funny to me. Okay.
It's a delight. The $8 or $20 blue check. So
wait, $20?
It started at $20.
Oh,
so
okay.
if you don't know what's up, Elon essentially decided in his infinite wisdom, and I'm sure asking a lot of people, that he was going to take all of the blue checks that kind of verify accounts and change them to a monthly fee SaaS model.
So then anybody can, like, we could have a blue check and I have no followers.
I think so.
Okay.
So I think it's basically you pay to go through the verification process and then to maintain this check. And that would be how that process works going forward.
That's so ridiculous.
People had a lot of thoughts. Let me
Yeah.
tell you that. Let me just go ahead and let you know. People have thoughts on this. A lot of blue checks have some thoughts. Interestingly, one of the persons, probably the first guy who piped up on the entire thing was horror author Stephen King.
Okay.
What? I was floored. He came out of left field, and that guy has some reach. Let me tell you that.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I mean, I know he's popular, but like,
Damn. Yeah.
Damn, dude. And he kind of looks like shit. Don't know what to tell
Really?
you.
Well, he's always looked like that.
I guess. Anyway, Stephen King, he tweets at him on Halloween, apt. $20 a month to keep my blue check. Fuck that. They should pay me. If this gets instituted, I'm gone like Enron.
That's a weird,
That's a weird tweet.
That's not the best rhyme. It's also not the best.
I'm gone like Enron.
And it's like,
I'm
I
Stephen
don't
King.
know.
I write scary shit.
Yeah, you're a writer, Stephen King. You can come
Yeah.
up with a better thing.
Anyway, he could not. And Elon replied to him, I saw this when like I was on Twitter and I saw this happening and I was like, oh, this is so embarrassing. He replies, we need to pay the bill somehow. Twitter cannot rely entirely on advertisers. How about $8?
How about $8? Okay.
It's like
so that's what,
master negotiator.
so
Right
he
there.
literally just went from 20 to 8 because of Stephen King,
Yeah.
basically. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Fun.
Fine.
Sure. And then Stephen is not having it, by the way. He replies back like on the next day and he goes, Musk makes me think of Tom Sawyer, who was given the job of whitewashing a fence as punishment. Tom cons his friends into doing the chore for him and getting them to pay for the privilege. That's what Musk wants to do with Twitter. No.
All right.
far better writing right there,
Yeah,
Stephen.
there we go.
You actually took a moment.
Right.
You busted out the quill.
Yep.
You went down. You wrote some little Tom Sawyer analogy. Enjoy it. I enjoyed that. That was nice. It makes sense. He's saying that he doesn't want to have to create all the content and then also pay to create the content.
Makes sense.
I get it.
That is a good point.
It's a good point.
And it's like people are on Twitter, you know, a lot of people, I guess, are on Twitter to follow people like Stephen
Absolutely.
King and da-da-da. So it's like, oh, if I leave, then I take all my followers with me.
That's exactly what he was saying.
Right.
And I think that is worth Elon thinking about.
Yeah.
I'm sure he definitely will give it thoughtful consideration. And because
come up with a
meanwhile,
reasonable
so
thing.
this is and frankly, this back and forth makes sense to me. The
Yeah.
Stephen King one, I was like, I get it. I can understand Elon's, just figuring out his shit. Stephen's like, I'm a content creator. Genuinely, every other platform is paying me.
Mm-hmm.
Why is this one I would have to pay you?
Yeah.
What the fuck are we doing here? Sure. Meanwhile, on the other end of the spectrum, we have our girl, AOC, coming in hot. And she tweets, LMAO at a billionaire earnestly trying to sell people on the idea that free speech is actually an $8 per month subscription plan. Cool.
Okay.
Elon replies, your feedback is appreciated. Now pay $8.
Like, if you want me not to like this guy, you're going to have to try hard because this is fucking hilarious.
He's a good tweeter.
He's a great tweeter.
He's
Your
Chief
feedback's
Twit.
appreciated. Now pay $8. That is so fucking funny.
It's pretty funny.
It's incredible.
It is pretty funny. The entire thing was just chaos. He then tweets,
I also don't understand how that would stifle. It's not like he's saying you have to get off the platform. It's just like you have to pay $8.
So there's a lot of back and forth on it right now and exactly what this means, because I think the hard part is no one knows what getting rid of the blue check actually means. Like, it's an $8 per month subscription, but like, can someone else create an AOC account and then get a blue check for it? That's not her, because then that could be disinformation. Or can someone pretend to be her and then get a blue check? So like, what would the verification process? And the reality is we just don't know, because they don't fucking have a plan yet. They're just tweeting, this is the plan. We just looked at the plan.
Right. And if like AOC and Stephen King or whatever, they are all removed from their blue checks, and like especially AOC,
Yeah,
people would make a bunch of fake accounts and it would be hard to decipher which one was the real AOC.
right. Which is like, for her case, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
It would be, you can understand why at scale, and like, if someone did that with like the president's account and then just started being like, fuck Putin,
right,
and all the people in North Korea, and like we're like, oh, now we're at war.
Yeah, and all the people in North Korea.
We're like, whoa, 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 whoa. So understandably, there needs to. That's why I don't work at Twitter.
Okay.
Disaster. So Elon, either way, he's not done. He then goes to AOC's website and picks out a picture of a shirt that she's selling, a sweatshirt, and circles the fact that it is $58, and then goes the little like, emoji.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
It was pretty funny. But she replies, my workers are union, have full health care and benefits like childcare help, and everyone is paid a living wage. Proceeds go to community acts like tutoring underserved kids. You're a union buster with an ego problem who pockets the change from underpaying and mistreating people.
All right. That's pretty good.
Pretty good own.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying this back forth though. Like, keep up.
Yeah.
Keep up, you guys. I've enjoyed it. She also then tweeted, and I don't know if this is real or not. If it is, I actually do have concerns.
Okay.
She says, Elon Musk, while I have your attention, why should people pay $8 just for their app to get bricked when they say something you don't like? This is what my app has looked like ever since my tweet upset you yesterday. What's good doesn't seem very free speechy to me. A little emoji. And then she tweets a picture of her app, which is like frozen, basically. It doesn't have any content on it.
Interesting.
I don't know. If that is what's going down, though,
that would be shitty.
He's got to like take a lap.
I don't think that he would.
I don't think so
think he
either,
would
but
do
like,
that.
I don't really know what to say. You know what I mean? Once again, I don't trust any of these people, but that's the story. Do with it as you will.
Yeah.
We'll find out. So the last thing he did, and I think we're basically just going to be doing an episode on the fucking Twitter thing because we're almost at an hour. We don't even have time. We just don't have the time.
Okay.
This is the only silver lining on this entire thing. And if he does this, literally, I forgive him for everything else.
Okay.
He is considering bringing back Vine.
Yay! I love Vine.
Everyone loved Vine.
What happened with it?
But they couldn't make money.
I mean, I guess it's very similar to TikTok, right?
I know, and that I love it so much. I want him to do this so bad.
Yeah.
Literally, do whatever you want. I will pay $8 for Vine. I'll pay $8 for Vine. That's what I'll pay $8 for. There you go. Vine, if you're not familiar, if you weren't, I think our very specific age group got really into it.
Yeah.
We're like, what was it, 7-second videos?
Yes, so quick.
Super short videos on an app similar to TikTok, and you could just upload them, and they were super quick, and I don't know, they were fucking fun.
They were great.
We should do Best of Vine.
Yeah.
In the next episode. We should pick out some of the Best of Vine and play them.
And they were all like so like poor quality. Like
they were
shot on
terrible.
like I mean, they were definitely iPhones, but like it felt like flip phones. Like
it was fun.
It was so fun.
Good. It was like America's Funniest Home Video kind of like vibes. We were just like, this is just stupid.
And there was no like you know on TikTok you can get on different sides of TikTok. Like I got that yeast infection and I was on Vag Talk for a while, and everyone's like feeling a little funky down there. Me too. I got like a million ads. And
there's no Vag Talk on Vine. There's no
Vag
Vine.
And I had a lot of like, you know, the ones where like they point and then there's like little things like if you have a yeast infection, do
this.
And you know, whatever, bacterial vaginosis, me too. And I'm like, God damn it. But you know, you can get all these little like rabbit holes. Like I've definitely been down some like dark paths on TikTok.
TikTok
like,
has some back alleys.
It's got some back alleys for sure. I was like, they're trying to radicalize me, and it's working. I am a dumb person. I am getting brainwashed as we speak. But
you're like, what is that feeling I have? I think it's a little brainwashing.
Yeah, I think my brain's getting fucking suds on it right now.
Vag Talk brainwashing.
But Vine was just like funny,
it's
silly,
funny.
Goofy. Like it's just super good vibes. I like that one where wasn't that a Vine where it's like what's worse than a rapist, and then he rips it off and it says child rapist and he goes a child. Yeah.
It's great.
It's cute.
So I hope they bring it back. I do think that if they do bring it back, they'll probably not limit it to 7 seconds. My guess is it would be just America's response to TikTok, trying to be basically the same thing, but
I hope
American run.
Well, I hope they bring it back for a million reasons. But one of the reasons too is that I feel like we missed the boat on TikTok, and then people that have followers, they've just started right when TikTok became a thing.
I know.
And I'm like, all right, Vine, Laura, we're going for Vine.
I'm doing Vine. Also, beyond that, we haven't really talked a lot about it, but TikTok is like constantly about to be shut down. Like I swear every other week I'm like, I think TikTok is legitimately getting shut down.
Yeah.
One week or another. Like last week, I think we may have talked about this even on the podcast, where there was a emergency meeting held by, I forget the government group, but one of the government groups with like actual power.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they were just people like were hypothesizing. They were like, I think TikTok's about to get shut down because
really?
There was a report that revealed they can specifically find user locations for people, individuals.
Oh.
So like specific people. Like if they actually wanted to find you, they could do that. Not just trends.
Yeah.
So listen. Is that real? Who knows? What does that actually mean?
But I mean, I agree with you though. It's like every 2 seconds, like, oh, we're not gonna have TikTok anymore. We're not gonna, and it, like,
point is like
completely fine with that, but I don't have any followers or anything. Nothing's happening for me on TikTok. But like, it's just wasting my time and making me go down rabbit holes. But it's but it is interesting.
It makes sense that there would be an equivalent run here in America that, if that does occur, where I think there's, let's call it a 30% shot that TikTok gets shut down at some point for some sort of violation. Actually, if the next president is a Republican, I think it's gone. I'm pretty sure TikTok's gonna be gone.
You think? Wow.
I don't know shit, guys. Like I don't know what to tell you, but that's what my gut says.
Yeah.
It's got a little feeling in my stomach.
I mean, TikTok, like, obviously we've talked about this ad nauseum on the pod, but it's like I heard somewhere. Who knows? I think like
I made it up.
Yeah, I made it up. Whatever. Like Mark just sits in the other room when I'm working, and he'll sit in the other room and like watch all these YouTubes all day, and then he'll come and he'd be like, "Do you know that?" Da, 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 da? And I'm like, I feel like you're just on some weird like conspiracy thing.
Yeah, you realize like the people
like,
putting stuff on YouTube is like us.
Yeah, exactly.
We just say whatever we want.
But I think he saw some YouTube that was like, TikTok was like essentially designed to make people like dumber and less productive, and I was like.
It's
And
designed to
like,
addict them and then have them buy products.
exactly.
Man.
And then he like came in my like when I was working and he was like, so I heard that like TikTok is like rotting your brain. And I was like, obviously it's rotting my brain, Mark. Like,
what do
you think I think TikTok is good for me?
Yeah.
It's the worst thing that could ever happen to me.
The disaster. I have also heard that it's taking over things like Google.
It is. Well, more people spent more time on TikTok than they did on Google, which is like, whoa.
Weird.
I've deleted TikTok until after the wedding. I don't know why. It's just like it's like a goal I have.
That's fine. But Vine, I'm in support of. It's probably going to be like worse than TikTok at the end of the day. But I do hope he ends up doing that. So
Yeah.
Elon, come on. Let me forgive you for every other bullshit that you've done. When are you and AOC just going to fuck? When is that going to happen? Come on.
Could you imagine if they dated?
I'd be so into it.
I would be so into it.
Oh
I
my
would
God.
lose my mind.
I would be the biggest stan for that relationship.
It would be incredible.
I mean, they'd have hot sex. There's they hate each other.
It would be hate sex every single time.
Oh, they hate each other. It'd be great.
It would be great.
Good for them. I'm happy. I'm already happy for the two of them. They're gonna be so happy together. Well, guys, I told you that we were gonna do all this stuff about like the past, and we're not. We're just simply not gonna do that.
We might do that next time. I mean, you put so much energy into this.
Oh,
it's like
we're gonna talk about it at some point. Let me tell you that. But it's not right now.
No, next time.
Look at all this. All this.
Next time we're gonna do best of Vine, and that might not be a full episode, so maybe I'll do that, and then some other fun thing that's happening.
Well, maybe we can do best of Vine, and then we can go into this.
Oh,
just keep it moving
Yep.
because there'll be some updates on Twitter by then. It's literally like probably by the time since we've been recording, I'm sure some bullshit's happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But Apple
definitely.
News alerts probably about Elon. I'm gonna kill myself. It's ridiculous.
Alrighty, guys. Well, like and subscribe and tell 3 friends. Please.
Tell 3 friends.
We keep saying this to you. It's a very easy homework assignment.
Do you have 3 friends?
I don't think they have 3 friends. I think that's the problem.
It's all good.
Yeah, go ahead and shoot in your group chat. Hey, check out this podcast. They ramble. They say nothing.
Yeah, we say some stuff. Listen, we came up with a little romance.
Yeah, we did some things.
I'm into it.
And
Yep. See you
that's
on the other
it.
side.
Goodbye.
Bye.